All right, let's talk about one of the biggest decisions you're going to make before you even think about university: choosing your IB subjects. Seriously, if you get this right, you're paving a smooth road to your dream career. But if you get it wrong, well, things can get a little tricky. So, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down and give you a strategic guide to making the perfect choice. So, this is the big question, isn't it? You've got 6 slots to fill for the next 2 years of your life. How on earth do you pick the right ones? And look, it's totally normal to feel a bit overwhelmed by that, but don't sweat it. We're going to make this whole process a lot simpler. Think of this as your personal roadmap. We're going to go step by step to help you build that perfect subject combination that lines up with your goals. So, let's start with the absolute basics. Okay, so first things first, we need to get our heads around the basic blueprint of the IB diploma program. It all starts with the core, which is a set of requirements that every single IB student has to do. No exceptions. And that's called the DP core. You can think of it as the heart and soul of the whole program. Its job is to build those skills that go beyond any single subject. Critical thinking, solid research, and just being an organized human. These are the skills that universities are really looking for. So the core has 3 main parts. First, you've got theory of knowledge, or TOK, which is all about questioning how we know what we think we know. Then there's the extended essay, which is a massive 4,000-word research paper on pretty much any topic you're passionate about. And finally, there's CAS, creativity, activity, and service, which is all about getting you out of the classroom and doing things that build your character. Okay, so with the core covered, now we get to the fun part. You get to choose 6 subjects. And you have to pick one from each of these 6 groups. This is the IB's way of making sure you don't just live in one academic bubble. You get a taste of everything: languages, humanities, sciences, math, the whole shebang. And right here, this is your first major strategic move. If you're not an arts person, that's totally fine. You can drop your group 6 subject and instead pick up another science or a second language or an extra humanities course. Honestly, this is a game changer for a lot of students who are aiming for very specific degrees. All right, let's dive into your first really big decision, because it's not just about what subjects you choose, it's about how you choose to study them. For 3 of your subjects, you'll need to decide, am I taking this at higher level or standard level? So what's the difference? Well, higher level, or HL, is the deep dive. It means more class time, you go way deeper into the topics, and it's definitely more of a challenge. Standard level, or SL, still gives you a really solid foundation in the subject, but the workload is just a bit more manageable. The magic formula here really is balance. Almost everyone takes 3 subjects at HL and 3 at SL. Your HLs should definitely be subjects you're good at and hopefully subjects you actually enjoy. But the number one non-negotiable thing you have to consider is this: what do the universities you're aiming for actually require? Okay, let's make this all a bit more real. How does all this theory actually look in practice when you're building a package for a specific career? Let's check out a few powerful examples. Say you want to be an engineer. For you, there are 2 absolute non-negotiables at higher level: physics and mathematics analysis and approaches. That's the math course with all the calculus. You just can't get around it. Those 2 subjects are the foundation, and then you build your other 4 choices around them. Okay, what about a future doctor? This is a perfect example of where you'd use that trick we talked about earlier and drop the arts subject. To get into medicine, the gold standard combination at higher level is almost always chemistry and biology. That's the combo that opens nearly every door to med school. But hey, not everyone is going into STEM, right? What if you want to be a screenwriter? In this case, your focus shifts completely. It's all about storytelling and communication. So you'd lean into higher level subjects like language and literature, and maybe theater or film to show you've got real depth in creative analysis and production. Okay, I cannot stress this next part enough. It is great to pick subjects you're passionate about, but you absolutely have to check the specific admission rules for the universities and even the countries you want to apply to. And I'm not kidding, the rules can be wildly different depending on where you look. Some countries, like Germany or Switzerland, are famous for having super strict checklists for IB students. And if you're aiming for a competitive degree like medicine or science anywhere on the planet, having the right kind of math plus 2 higher-level sciences is pretty much your minimum entry ticket. Now, here's some good news. A lot of universities will actually accept your IB language course as proof that you're proficient in that language. This is great because it can save you the headache and the cost of taking extra tests like the TOEFL or IELTS. But you know the drill, always double check with university itself. And what happens if you find a university with a really weird requirement? Like maybe they want you to have all three sciences. Don't panic. The first thing you do is talk to your school's DP coordinator. Sometimes there are options, like taking a 7th subject, that can help you meet those unique demands. Okay, that was a lot of information. So how do you actually put your own personal strategy together? Well, it really boils down to two things: doing your homework and talking to the right people. And listen, you are not in this alone. Your university and career counselors, they're your go-to for figuring out the future path. Your DP coordinator? That's the person who knows all the IB rules inside and out. And for the official, black and white requirements, you go straight to the source, the IB's own recognition database. Use these people. All right, let's wrap all this up. I want to give you a simple, actionable checklist you can literally use right now to make your final decision with some real confidence. Before you sign on the dotted line, just run through these 5 quick questions. Number 1, do I actually like these subjects and am I good at them? 2, do my HL choices tick all the boxes for my dream university course? 3, does my whole 6-subject package work for the country I want to study in? 4, if I'm going into a technical field, do I have the right math and sciences? And finally, number 5, do I need to have a chat with my coordinator about a special combination? And finally, just one last piece of advice. It is awesome to be ambitious, but you also have to be realistic. The IB diploma is a 2-year marathon, not a 100-meter sprint. Pick a combination that pushes you, for sure, but one that won't completely burn you out by the end of year 1. You want to stay curious, not exhausted. Because at the end of the day, this is about so much more than just a university application. These choices you're making right now, they're the first chapter of your future. So, what story are you going to write?